Hi guys, we're here with Meet on Mondays, episode 5. I'm Christina,
I'm Jo Bolden.
and together we're As One Creative.
In 2017.
Woo! Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year to you and yours.
Good. Today we want to talk about...
We want to talk about the words you belong, what that means, and also what it doesn't. And it feels particularly appropriate to talk about at the beginning of a new year, because the beginning of a new year is often when people make a list of them for themselves of new things they want to do, new adventures to have, new things that they want to try. And sometimes as we're going about those things, what happens is we turn up to something that's new for us, whether it be a new style of class or a new level of class, or something completely different and completely, off the wall for you. We turn up and it's new to us, but obviously it's not new to the world. It's been going on long before we thought to try it. And what happens is sometimes as we step into that space as a newcomer and as a beginner of sorts, we can feel a little bit put off, and we can sometimes feel like we're a little bit on the outside of something that's already kind of going on, and this distance and that feeling that maybe we don't belong sometimes shows up.
Right, and I think the thing to remember is no matter what, you do belong. I remember when I first moved to Los Angeles, being on scholarship, feeling like I almost wasn't enough, absolutely feeling like I didn't belong, kind of hiding out in the back of the room and watching people who were comfortable in class dance in the front and be really confident. And the thing that I needed to remember was that I deserve the same chance, and maybe I'm not familiar with how the class is run, or maybe I wasn't familiar with the style, but I let it feel so uncomfortable to me that I felt like I didn't have a place there. But the bottom line is you create that place for yourself. You can always belong. You deserve the same chance as everyone else. You have the same right to be there as everyone else.
And I think sometimes what happens when you said you were hiding in the back is sometimes when we're a little on that back foot and we're not quite sure if we belong in this energy or community of what's going on, sometimes we hide out at that safe distance. We create that safe distance. Absolutely. Where we feel like we can keep ourselves a little bit separate. But the problem is by keeping ourselves a little bit separate, we keep ourselves a whole bunch separate. And we create that distance and we give off a vibe of distance. It sometimes reads as not as interested.
Right.
And I think sometimes what we see is, that person's super confident, that person knows what they're doing, they really, clear about who they are. No, sometimes they're just finding the courage to put themselves in the front and take that chance, which reads to us as confidence, and we forget about what we might be giving off in the meantime.
And I think even as a teacher, when your teacher said to you, sometimes maybe they think you're uninterested because you're not putting forth that confidence to feel like you actually have the same right as everyone else to engage yourself in that. And that may not be your intention. You're not, subconsciously thinking about it like that.
Yeah.
But that's how it may read to any of your teachers or...
Absolutely. I think we talked about that in a previous episode.
We did.
Go back and check out the episode on telling people who you are all the time.
Yeah.
But when it comes back to belonging, I think sometimes the issue is we gauge belonging by popularity too. Whether that's likes on YouTube or
likes.
Or follows. Or even if that's just what we're reading in the energy of a classroom or a community place or wherever we are, we often look at what's attracting a lot of attention or a lot of interest or drawing people to it, and we see that as belonging. But realistically, belonging is about knowing that you have a place here. It's not about getting the most likes. And popularity, let's be real, it's just about whatever is populent and current right now in this particular moment, and that can swing.
And it changes
from
so
one day,
often.
from 1 week. So Absolutely. Gauging how much you belong by how popular you're feeling is going to give you a false sense of that. And really, it's not about what that person over there is doing. It's not about being that person to attract that energy to belong more. That person's just doing them. Just do you.
Yes. It's not about hanging out with them. It's just about, believing in what you're doing yourself.
And then taking that risk.
Taking a chance. So
like you said.
That's what it boils down to.
Absolutely. It's about knowing that you have a place here. It's about then finding the courage to take that risk.
Mm-hmm. So I think what you're getting to is taking that risk and feeling that sense of belonging doesn't mean that you in any way disrespect what has come before you. It doesn't mean that you jump into the front of a class when there may be, certain etiquette that goes on, certain ways of doing things, certain way the group operates.
Absolutely. It might mean if you come into something new, you don't necessarily put your hand up for the first demonstration or go and stand. I know whenever I start something new, if I'm going to go and start a ceramics class, I'm not going to put myself in a position where it looks like I can lead by example, because I don't have any yet.
Right.
But even if I put myself in a place in the room where I can observe and be a part of it, I can still know that I have a place there. I can still know that I showed up to that class. I think belonging is about, like we said, having a place, but it's not about losing respect for the fact that this has been going on before you arrived at it, about acknowledging what the guidelines, the rules, the parameters, the etiquette is of the space. It's not about taking over and telling the person when I go in for my ceramics class, this is my first class, but I'm really creative and artistic. I think I should be in the advanced class.
You should be teaching it.
I think you should ask me what I think. Or in a dance class, it's listening and being mindful of their teachers, guides, and mentors as to where they tell you, at this point, I think developmentally you're at this place. And then owning that, whatever it is that they offer for you. So we've talked a lot about belonging. We've talked about what it is. We've talked briefly about what it isn't to us, but I think ultimately, like we said, belonging is about knowing that you have a place here. And from that place, from putting yourself outside and putting yourself out there a little bit, it's about then knowing that you can take a risk in that space.
Right.
You can take a risk, become more a part of what you've put yourself into. You can take that risk.
And I think belonging means just knowing that you deserve that chance. And I love the way Emma Watson said it.
You're worth that chance.
You're totally worth that chance. And the way that Emma Watson said it in a speech not too long ago that we were watching and we really, really enjoyed was that if not you, then who? So if you're not taking the chance for yourself, who's going to do it? You have to do it for yourself. And if not now, then when? Because now is all you have. Yep. So
Bye.
good to see you. Good to see you.